Winter, 1942. After months of relentless advance, Hitler's war machine set its sights on a city bearing the name of his nemesis, Stalingrad. Operation Blue had pushed deep into Soviet territory. Confidence was high. Victory seemed within reach.
The Führer expects the city to fall within weeks. Our flanks are secure. The men are ready.
Soviet resistance is crumbling. This will be the decisive blow. For the fatherland, soon this will all be over.
Into the labyrinth of twisted steel and shattered stone they advanced, an air of grim determination tinged with unease.
Not one step back, every building a fortress. They will find only death here.
Suddenly, the city erupted. From every shadow, every ruin, Stalingrad fought back with a desperate ferocity. The dream of a swift conquest died amidst the frozen rubble. This was not warfare as they knew it. It was a descent into hell. As winter tightened its grip, the Soviet High Command, Stavka, prepared its riposte. General Georgy Zhukov, a man forged in the crucible of earlier defeats and tempered by an iron will, was tasked with turning the tide. Zhukov identified the German flanks as weak, defended by Romanian, Italian, and Hungarian troops, not their elite. He marked the points for the decisive blows, here and here. The Stavka recognized the enormous risks. A pincer movement of this scale had to break through decisively, or face disaster. Zhukov's resolve was absolute. Failure is not an option. The fate of Stalingrad, perhaps the Union, hangs in the balance. We strike with overwhelming force. Operation Uranus will be their undoing. It was a gamble of colossal proportions, a plan to trap and annihilate the entire German Sixth Army. The fate of hundreds of thousands hung on its success. On November 19, 1942, under a veil of snow and fog, Operation Uranus was unleashed. 1 million Soviet soldiers, spearheaded by thousands of tanks and aircraft, crashed into the thinly held German flanks. The Romanian, Italian, and Hungarian divisions guarding the Sixth Army's flanks, ill-equipped and demoralized, crumbled under the assault. Within days, the pincers closed. Zhukov's audacious gamble had paid off. The German Sixth Army, over 250,000 men, was trapped.
We are surrounded. Request permission to break out immediately. Holding Stalingrad is no longer possible.
But Hitler, from his distant headquarters, forbade any attempt at a breakout. The Sixth Army was ordered to stand fast, to become Fortress Stalingrad. The hunter had become the hunted. The siege of Stalingrad had entered its final, horrific phase. The battle marked a decisive turning point on the Eastern Front, signaling the beginning of the end for Nazi Germany's ambitions in the East. Trapped, starving, and freezing, the remnants of the Sixth Army faced annihilation. Supplies dwindled. Hope vanished. Hitler's Fortress Stalingrad had become a frozen tomb. On February 2, 1943, Field Marshal Friedrich Paulus, against Hitler's orders, surrendered. It was the first time a German field marshal had ever been captured. Nearly 100,000 German soldiers were taken prisoner. Only a few thousand would survive the harsh conditions of Soviet captivity and return home years later. The Battle of Stalingrad claimed over 2 million lives, soldiers and civilians alike, making it one of the deadliest battles in human history. The city was reduced to rubble. Stalingrad was more than a battle. It was the decisive turning point on the Eastern Front. From these ruins, the Soviet Union began its inexorable march westwards, a path that would lead to Berlin. The sacrifice and suffering endured here became a somber testament to the human cost of war, a chilling reminder of a conflict that reshaped the world.